At any given moment, there are 4 kinds of laws that shape your entire life, whether you realise it or not. The ones written by your government, the ones enforced by society, the ones you write for yourself, and the ones written into the fabric of reality itself. Most people spend their lives following laws that they never choose or even know exist. But if you want real freedom, reality control, you could say, you have to learn which laws to obey and which ones to rewrite. So sit back, get yourself a cup of your favourite hot beverage, and together we'll break down the 4 levels of law that govern your world and show you how successful people use them to completely change their reality and how you can use them to change yours too. Think of your life like a system of 4 layers, like a big onion full of responsibility and utility bills. An onion that will be sure to make you cry. Now, introducing the world's most paltry whiteboard. I think a part of me bought this so it would make me look a little bit bigger on the camera, but here we are. So, bear with me. An outer layer, we have national laws, and yes, that's a circle. The legal systems that maintain order within the company that we live in. Inside that, we have societal laws, okay? And this is like unwritten rules of behaviour, so etiquette, the pleases and thank yous, the do's and the don'ts. And closer to the centre here are your personal laws, the standards that you choose to live by. And surrounding all of this, at the outermost layer, lie the universal laws, the natural truths that apply to everyone. So I'm going to put universal, national, societal, and personal. Okay, so these are all layers of laws and they all sit inside each other. Now, the closer you move to the centre, notably the personal and societal laws, the more personal power and freedom you gain. You have way more options here, choice and movement within these 2 layers. These are where the needle moving opportunities lie. The outer layers of universal and national law protect you. You benefit by understanding them and playing the game that they create for you. More on this later. So let's get a better understanding on what these different laws mean to you and how you can bend them to your will. So if we start with universal law, okay, there are natural principles that govern cause and effect, truth, energy, reciprocity, vibration, and focus. This is reality's feedback system and one that governs how the entire universe works. We cannot change these laws, but as we understand them, we can create a set of guidelines to follow which can increase the probability of our most favourable outcomes. Am I making sense? Well, hear me out. One universal law is the law of vibration, or the law of attraction. You might have heard of this. And these dictate that you can attract things that have a similar energy to you. You get more of what you already have. Okay, you don't get what you want, you get more of what you already have. You attract what you are. So look at your friends, look at your partner. Do you have a similar level of sarcasm, pessimism, ambition? Do you know your own levels of optimism and ambition go up and down to match other people that you speak to? Now understand this law and you can assess your current vibration or vibes for the younger crowd and think objectively. Do I want to attract more of the vibes that I'm currently giving out? Do I want to attract more of what I'm currently broadcasting to the world? If you try to break these laws, you will only break yourself. They cannot be reasoned with. They simply give you an output based on your input, okay? You can change your input, that will change your output. Cause and effect. So next up, we have national law, okay? The ever-creeping government-enforced rules of your country. Now, I love them or loathe them. They are there to keep you safe and to enable justice to be served. And like universal laws, these should not be broken, else suffer the consequences. You can again choose your inputs here to control your outcome. So, does your dream life include being fined, imprisoned, or constantly looking over your shoulder, trying to run away from a dodgy past? If it doesn't, stay clear of breaking these laws. Much like universal laws, these are to be understood and followed. Do not look for movement here. They are the foundation of a functioning society, even though it might not always feel like that. Now moving into the third layer of the sad onion. And this is where things start getting juicy, okay? Societal laws. These are the unwritten rules of etiquette, politeness, and acceptability. While not illegal, If you break these laws, expect to be challenged, rightly or wrongly. Expect to be judged. Expect eyebrows to be raised and gasps to be emitted. Societal laws are what make people cringe or frown. Things that aren't illegal but feel taboo. For example, filming yourself in public for social media content, talking openly about money or ambition, or promoting your business in the DMs or at events. Breaking these laws doesn't get you arrested, but it might get you judged. And ironically, many successful people break societal laws on purpose because they realise replicating everyone else's behaviour often replicates everyone else's reality, or results if you will. And these examples that I just chose weren't picked at random. They're actions which, when aligned properly, can allow you to break free from the norm, from the matrix, as we call it, and allow you to ascend to more senior job roles or entrepreneurship if you so wish. And this is why many people who have particularly good physique, level of strength, successful businesses or solid relationships will tell you to do the opposite to almost everyone else. If you do the same as everyone else, you get the same results as everyone else. Now, it doesn't take much time, unfortunately, to realise that most people aren't living their ideal reality. They're not living their life day to day as they would choose to, as they would like. They're spending 40 hours a week working a 9-to-5 job which they often dislike, with bodies they are not particularly happy with, and with feelings of anxiety, confusion, or hopelessness. This is because most people are unaware of these rules, these games they are playing. The game is playing them, they're not playing the game, and therefore they are not seeing the results that they want. They don't see the relationship between cause and effect. They also don't see many people around them sometimes doing any different, depending on your geographical location. Therefore, they might find comfort and belonging in that because they're not alone. Everyone else is doing the same thing. And yes, it sucks, but it sucks for everyone else, so it's normal, right? One last thing I would say to this is often the people who are living their dream life report that it is lonely. It's lonely at the top because as they have ascended, as they've grown and solved more and more problems, they've realised the amount of people they can relate to is pretty small. They find it harder to find people to lean on and help them with these issues because most people are living with different issues. Like, oh, boo-hoo, you might think. I'd rather be lonely in a Porsche than sad in a Fiesta. But if that's the case, then it's time to start breaking some societal laws. Some examples of rule breakers are Gary Vee. He started filming early in public, ignoring ridicule, and now he's impacting hundreds of thousands of people and making lots of money. Kanye West, interesting guy, challenging artistic and social conventions. And Elon Musk, frequently saying controversial things which are his opinions. Now, the key point here is societal laws keep you comfortable, but comfort rarely equals growth. So here we can start to see how, if warranted enough, we can start to break some of these rules and start seeing the ripples in reality. We can start seeing different results that we've been getting so far. The key is to justify which social rules, when broken, will enable us to get the desirable outcomes we want while minimising the disruption to society. And it's also very important to consider here that what we perceive to be annoying, are we mind reading here? What are we assuming to be frowned upon is often all in our heads. People give a lot less of a fuck about what you're doing than what you think. And on the flip side, some nosy people might be paying way more attention to us than they should. And we should also consider that it's none of their bloody business. And if they are annoyed with you filming in public, that is their problem. Part of progressing in work is learning how to set yourself apart from everyone else. Opt into projects, present new ideas, and propose improvements. This isn't necessarily because you think that you're better than anyone else. You just choose to make the most out of your life and your time. This can be met with hostility, with a get back in your box or wind your neck in mentality. You know, oh, you're only a grade 3 or you're not a manager, therefore you can't do this. And this even comes from management, believe it or not. And this is because in doing this great work, other people can perceive that as a threat, as confirmation that they're not doing enough. And this is a fucking key moment in life here. Do not let this stop you, because looking at this objectively, they have a choice here, okay? Because we're often told to check what we're doing, get back in our box. Now let's flip that. What are they doing? What are they doing to improve the company? What are they doing to grow themselves? In this situation, they could even take this opportunity to ask you for guidance or to learn from you and to rise to the standards that you're setting. Instead, they could try and justify their inaction and try and drag you down to their standards. Now, this is the negative side of society or group interactions, but it's key to look at this objectively and try and remove your emotions from the situation. Are you going to let other people keep you down? What good would that be for you? And what good would that be for them in the long run? What does that teach them if you allow them to change what you're doing? In the right work environment, this is rewarded and everyone should have an opportunity to grow within their role rather than to be contained within it. It is down to you to stand your ground, set your values of growth and challenge any pushback that you get. Refuse to merge in with the masses and reinforce that the reason you're doing this is to bring efficiency into the team, into the company, grow within your role and provide a better service to your users or clients, because that is objectively what you're trying to do. You're not trying to cheat here. You're not trying to put anyone else down. You're simply taking the initiative to grow and help others grow around you. Now we're moving on to personal law, the juiciest of all the laws. The rules you are left with after universal government and society has had their way. These are the laws and rules you have complete control over. And you might think, well, what leverage could there possibly be in these if everyone has access to them? And that would be a very interesting question that I'm going to relish in answering. The truth is there are many things that are legal, but which are also fucking terrible for you. Things that are likely to bend your reality towards ill health, bad financial situations, and tense relationships. These things are like energy drinks, junk food, and a train ticket to Slough. Consider two people who earn 30 grand a year. Okay, person A spends their paycheck on sports betting, cigarettes, booze, and junk food. They're having a great time. And person B spends their paycheck on healthy food, which they use to cook, a gym membership, which they use, books, and a self-development coach. Oh, boring. How do you think these decisions and actions affect these people's lives? Who is likely to experience the more favourable outcome here in the long term? Person B has set their personal law to align with the positive side of universal laws. They're optimising for physical and mental and financial health and relationships. They are doing the right thing and they are putting in the reps for a successful and healthy life. Person A is operating within the national law. Everything they're doing is completely legal, and depending on where they are from geographically, these actions might even be less judged than person B's. Employ a coach and exercise regularly, and some people will look at you as if you're mad, but eat McDonald's and drink energy drinks and they don't bat an eye. And this is why it's important that your personal law aligns with your values, your goals, and your desired trajectory in life. Because taking influence from society and blindly copying others around you, even close family and friends that you love, is never a great approach if you want to improve the likelihood of positive outcomes. It might do, but you can't leave it to chance here. Be deliberate, be intentional with what you do, and build your personal laws for one reason and one reason only. Your entire self-image, your concept of self-trust, and overall your confidence completely depends on it. Have you ever wondered why you can't fake confidence? Why true confidence exists in silence and noise too? That's because those who achieve a positive self-image and strong levels of confidence are those who know exactly what their values are, what their goals are, and they operate strictly within a personal law or framework which directly aligns with them. For example, if you've spent your day building a portfolio, elevating people, building systems at work, providing for your family and exercising at the gym, how can you possibly feel lost? How can you feel unconfident? If you spend your day procrastinating, doing things that hurt you, distracting yourself and avoiding things, how can you have any respect for yourself? Would you have respect for someone else if they were doing these things? These things are non-negotiable. Your personal laws are where your power lives. You can't control national or societal rules, but you can rewrite your own, and that will give you the power which you simply cannot acquire from any external sources. So each layer of law interacts with others. Sometimes they align, sometimes they clash. Like a business owner filming videos, which is breaking societal law, while respecting national law and following their own personal law of growth. They're growing their business, they're achieving financial and location freedom perhaps, and building a better life for their family and their clients. A monk or spiritual leader living in alignment with universal law but rejecting societal norms. They find peace. That again is aligning with their goals and how they want to live. A corporate employee following societal rules but violating their own personal laws of integrity. They might be earning good money, they might seem like they're doing fine from the outside, again, societal observation, but inside they're feeling trapped because it's not what they want to do. They feel like they're wasting their time. The quality of your life depends on which laws you obey and which ones you consciously rewrite. We're all born into the world and handed a set of laws and beliefs by our parents, our teachers, and our caregivers. We don't have to follow these our entire lives. Obeying national law keeps you safe. Obeying societal law keeps you accepted, maybe. Obeying personal and universal law makes you powerful. So here's a challenge. Grab a notepad or open up your notes app and write down 5 rules that you live by. Then label them. Are they national, societal, personal, or even universal? Ask yourself, is this rule serving me or is it limiting me? Did I choose this or was it given to me? Is this something that I'm following because I've learned or something I've just been told? And does this rule align to who I'm becoming? Do I even know who I want to become? The goal here isn't to rebel, isn't just to say I want to do differently, I want to do something different from everyone else for the sake of doing different things. It's to get conscious, it's to start living by unexamined rules and start crafting a life that fits your truth and what's important to you. Now, I hope at least some of this has allowed you to spend some time reflecting on yourself, on your laws, and whether you know where you're going or whether you're aimlessly drifting. The topics I mentioned in this video are part of a wider program that I provide for IT and tech professionals who might have built a fantastic career, but lack meaning, confidence, or clarity in their lives. They might feel like they're drifting, or they might question what the point of their existence is even. If you're fed up with feeling this way and you want to get to the root of the issue, DM me action either here on my YouTube or on my Instagram, which is adamfrankham_lifecoaching, and I'll see if I can help. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.